I'm going to share 10 different tools and products that we use in our detailing business on a daily basis, or at least we use them quite often. Now these are going to be both interior and exterior, and I'll make different videos in the future in terms of, hey, here are the main products that we use for interior, here are the main products that we use for wheel cleaning, or here's the main things that we use for paint correction. So over time, I'll make more videos in terms of what exactly that we're using. I'll have all the links down below to whatever I recommend, or I'll do my best to get those links. So let's get started. Let's jump in and go straight to polishers. So for the dual action polishers, whether it's a two-step correction on the cutting or polishing, whether it's an all-in-one and we're doing a quick polish, we have two main drivers that we go with. The first one, our default one, is going to be this Milwaukee M18 dual action polisher. It is cordless, so we run it off a battery. This is our go-to one for this one. These Milwaukee machines are fantastic. 5 out of 5 recommend. The build, the power, it doesn't bog down. Like, this is just an overall fantastic machine. And the next one, and this is surprising me because I haven't heard much about this brand, but the ShineMate 15mm throw, make sure it's the corded one, not the cordless, because the cordless 15 I am just not happy with. I don't recommend it. We don't use it for polishing. But for the corded 15mm throw polisher, it's a fantastic machine. It has good power, doesn't bog down, and for the price point, it's pretty good. So I mean, it's not expensive, right? It's not like a Rupes or something. So highly recommend the ShineMate wet for a dual action polisher. And for the rotary, we also have a Milwaukee. I don't have a backing plate on here, but for a rotary, we have the Milwaukee. I forget what it's called, but it's from Milwaukee. And this is what we use for rotary work. Now, I will say when I need to throw on a bigger a backing plate with a bigger wool pad, I'm not going with the Milwaukee just because of the power, and the battery is going to drain it a lot faster because it needs to rotate the pad when the pad is heavier and larger. So when I need to have just a big strong machine, I'm gonna go with the DeWalt corded rotary that we have. But that's more so like when I need to throw the wool pad on there. For most of the rotary work, we're gonna use this Milwaukee cordless rotary. And a quick little note is that for the rotaries, we have these extension shafts right here, and I get a lot of these questions on Instagram anytime I post about them. But these are going to be extension shafts to give you more clearance. Now with the rotaries, they're going to be interchangeable. So right here we have the grit set, and what this does, it just helps you get more clearance on certain areas depending on what you're working on, right? So if you're working on a very tight area that you have to get very intricate in, like for instance, we have you're not seeing it, but we have a Porsche right here next to us, and there's a very tiny section where like a 3-inch doesn't fit, a 2-inch doesn't fit. So what we can do is and then there's a bumper piece that's in the way between the rear deck and that bumper piece. So it's very, very, very intricate to get to. So what we can do is we can have this 70mm shaft that fits right in between the bumper and the rear deck, and then we can put a 2-inch, a 1-inch, a 3-inch, whatever fits, and it gives us that clearance to get to those specific areas with the rotary. So I would definitely recommend you get some extension shafts for your rotary because it comes in handy. And here's the thing, it's cool to watch other detailers to see what they use, and you click the links and you want to purchase them, or you save them on your list because you know that person's using that one, so it must be good. But we don't really put much emphasis on the tools and products because we're running a business, right? There's so much more that you have to do in order to get leads, get customers, make money, and grow your business that has nothing to do with the detailing side of things. And that's why I have my online training called Detailers Growth Academy, because it teaches detailers everything that's not detailing. It teaches you the business side of improving your sales process, or understanding what your number should be in terms of, are you profitable, and how to, you know, calculate your budgeted hours, or maybe just marketing and it's optimizing your Google business profile, or maybe creating your website on your own using Squarespace, because trust me, it's not that difficult to do. So if you want to learn more on the business side of growing your detailing business, or starting, if you're just getting started, you can find all that information in the link down below. So now let's talk about air compressor. So everything you see here, we use literally on an everyday basis, whether it's for interior detailing or exterior for paint correction, right? Because you want to blow out the pads. So obviously an air compressor, I'm not going to worry about which brand. This is the Cobalt one, the not sure which model, but if you have an air compressor in itself, it's going to be hyper important in your operations. then a hose reel, because you don't want to be, coiling, breaking it apart, coiling it back together and storing it. A hose reel, whether you're mobile or shop based, makes a very big difference. And then the attachments, we're gonna have something like a cleaning gun. We're gonna have this air gauge, not air gauge, but this is great for airing up the pump sprayers. And then your traditional, this is missing the little tip here, but your traditional air blow gun that everyone has. But this is vital because, like I said, for interior, we can blow out debris. We can get the liquid out of the tight crack, the tight areas on the in the instruments and the door panels and wherever. And then obviously for paint correction and polishing, to blow out the pads to make sure your pads are staying very clean. And then you can use them for a bunch of other things, like if you have a for the tire dressing, if you have a air gun or like a spray gun, and you put your tire dressing in there if you go that route. But this is a vital instrument into our operations. Now, whether you're mobile or working out of a shop, this one's pretty important. And we have a bunch of lights, right, from Scan Grip to Astro Light to whatever. But some that we use all the time are going to be headlamps. And the reason why this is important is specifically for the interior. Like even here in the shop where we have a bunch of lights, properly lighting up the interior still takes extra work. So we have these LED light bars up here that also help a lot with lighting up the interior. This one is dead right now. We have clips here that we can hang it from the top, so that's one in itself. But even more so than that, I personally just like to use headlamps, because although these lights are fantastic and they do a very good job at lighting the interior, which I also recommend these. So you kind of just hang it from the top, and then you just light it up, and it comes in handy. Now we always put two of them, one in the front, one in the rear, that way it's fully lit. But even with that, it's gonna have a limitation in terms of how much it's lighting it up. So that's where the headlamp comes into play. That way, whenever you're moving around the interior, just wherever you move your head, you're gonna properly light it. So again, even here at the shop with all this lighting, the interior is oftentimes still too dark to see everything. So if you're mobile and it's 1 o'clock and the sun's out, you're gonna see the entire interior. But if it's maybe early in the morning, if it's late afternoon, if it's daylight savings and at 4 o'clock the sun's already going down, you'll want to have these. Or maybe you're working in a customer's garage where most garages have very crappy lighting. You would want to have a headlamp or the LED light bar. That way you're lighting up the interior properly, because what you don't want to happen is you do all the work, you think you're done, it's 5:30, it's dark, so you don't really see anything, the customer pays, and then next morning they look at the interior when the sun's out and they're like, wow, there's so many missed spots here. And again, it's not that you missed it on purpose, it's just that you thought you were seeing something, but in the full light you're seeing something else. So the headlamps, very, very useful. So I'll mention this here because on this truck we had to remove 20-year-old film, and we use these products to do that. So when it comes to vinyl removal or PPF removal, depending on the age that it is, and we've done plenty of like old, brittle, beaten up, worn down film material, whether it's vinyl or PPF. So and how we remove that is going to be three things. One, an adhesive wheel remover that connects to your cordless drill or your drill. This here is scary at first. I remember the first time I used one like 12 years ago. It's very scary because you think you're gonna like chip off the paint, which you 100% can, especially on the front and rear bumpers because they're plastic. But this is vital to removing old PP, or not just old people. Well, I say old because if it's still somewhat relative new in terms of like, let's say last 4 years, you should be able to just remove it with heat and peeling it off. I say old because if it doesn't come off in that fashion and it's coming off little by little, this will be one of the methods that we use to remove old film. So it could be scary, but this is something that we have used when needed, where needed, and it works fantastic. Get that confidence, learn how to use it, because it makes a big difference in removal. So an adhesive wheel remover. Next is going to be Citro 266, I believe, and this is super, super, super good at removing adhesive residue. Again, on this car here, we use it heavily. when we're doing tint removal. Sometimes we use it. Sometimes we'll just use APC straight, but we use this a lot on this vehicle. We've used it a lot on other vehicles. It works fantastic. There is also a liquid form one, but this, I don't like that one because it's a little too strong, and because it's runny, it makes a bit more of a mess. This one here is our ideal. It's expensive, but this is our go-to for removing adhesive residue from paint or any other surface. You gotta be careful with it because if you use it on trim, it is going to dry it out. So you have to be careful of how you're using it. Just make sure you always neutralize it afterwards by doing a rinse with water or doing a rinseless wash on those panels, because you need to neutralize it. And then third is going to be using a plastic razor. Again, you can't be scared, and you know, unless you're just being ignorant, you're not gonna I'm lying, you can damage paint. Because again, we've done a lot of film removal on vehicles, and if you're not careful, you definitely can chip paint. But using plastic razors to scrape off, again, film, residue, whether it's PPF or vinyl, these play a crucial part to removal. So basically, to remove, we're not removing it off the hood because the customer is replacing the hood altogether, but on literally the rest of the vehicle, we use adhesive wheel remover, citral, and a plastic razor and a heat gun to remove a 20-year-old film that was literally coming off in pieces on the entire truck. Now I'm gonna recommend a wash mitt, and I probably haven't talked about a wash mitt in, I don't know, probably the last 4 or 5 years. I had to go find a video in the last 4 years that I recommended a wash mitt. But right now, my current favorite one is going to be the Flat Out by Shine Supply. We just ordered new packets, which is why I have them. These are by far my favorite wash mitts right now. We have quite a few of them between towels and wash mitts and what is it, Chanel, or what is it called? Anyway, we have quite a few different wash medias. But this is by far my favorite. It's just very soft, high quality. The way it's made out, it's a super high quality wash mitt. So again, I'm not gonna spend too much time on there because it does the same thing as any other wash media. It washes the car. But as of right now, these are definitely my favorite to wash cars. Next up is we have this brush here, soft brush. Again, I don't know the name of it. I'll have a link down below. But the reason why I like this one is literally just due to its size. So if you look at this one, like, you know, these are the ones that everyone has. It's about double, triple, quadruple the size of this one. So you can just cover more real estate faster and more efficiently. Now we have one for the interior and have one for the exterior. So for the exterior, obviously, is going to get the grills, the emblems, the sails, what have you. We're going to spray APC and then scrub it, and you know, get the dirt out of there. And then we have one for the interior for interior cleaning. Now I will say for the interior, we don't use this for heavy, dirty cleaning, right? Like if there's a leather seat that's like, oh my god, it's so filthy, we're not going to use this to clean everything. We're gonna use a scrub pad, right? This one specifically here is like, for instance, on the door panels or the center console where there's like a lot of buttons and vents. I'll use it there because you can kind of, you know, you can work a larger area and get into all those areas, into those intricate crevices, because the brush is so large. And then we'll either use the cleaning gun to blow it out and then wipe it down, or I'll use a dry brush here and get the remaining out. But that's why I really like this. Or so like we don't really use this for, like, let's say if it's like super dirty on the door panel, like we're gonna use a scrub pad and our traditional cleaning method. But let's say there's just like light dust on it, like it still needs a scrubbing, but it's not really that dirty. Then that's when I'll spray the door panel, use this to get it everywhere, and then wipe it down. So it has its dedicated use case, but I do use this quite often. So I am a very big fan of this one. And again, we use it. We have a dedicated one for the exterior as well. And I might buy another one because we'll have one for cleaning, or what I like to say, like it gets wet, and then you want a second brush that stays dry that you can brush out the any remaining liquid inside of the crevices. So I might have one like same way how I have it here, where one will be for cleaning, one will be for drying. It'll be the same concept here, where one brush is for agitating and cleaning, and then the other one, let's say this is the other one, I'll have it to dry out those crevices. Now, one thing I didn't mention were specific brands of chemicals. Like for instance, we've been using Optimum No Rinse for our rinseless solution for many years. But if we used, you know, Shine Supply or PNS or, you know, any other brand, it's gonna get the job done, right? Assuming you're buying like a reputable brand and they have good reviews and, you know, assuming it's quality, it's gonna get the job done. So that's why I don't spend time going over chemicals, because you can really get them. There's just so many of them, right? If I say, hey, we use this, super clean for APC. It's like, does it have to be super clean? Can it not be, list, 20 different brands that carry APCs? Because if you can dilute it, 1 to 10, 1 to 20, whatever, it's probably gonna get the job done, right? Now again, like there's gonna be a difference, right? Like there's different tiers to brands. But an APC is going to be an APC, right? If a car wash soap is going to be a car wash soap. Again, assuming you're buying quality reputable brands. That's why I don't spend time saying, hey, so this is the polish that I use, and here's the compound that I use, and here is the glass cleaner that I use. Because if you're buying quality, it's going to be quality. Now again, like as I've been saying since 6-7 years ago, is that like our optimum, our rinseless solution here, we use it for glass cleaning, we use it for rinseless, we use it to wipe down the interior if it's not that dirty. It's a very versatile product. So we still have the same mindset of try to get the most applications out of the fewest amount of products that you have. That way you don't have 7 different things here to do. Hey, this is to clean the wheels only, and this one's to clean the engine bay only, and this one's to clean the emblems only, and this one's only to clean the door panel. Like, you don't want to do that. So you want to use the fewest amounts of products or solutions to give you the most diverse set of applications. That way, not only does it save you money because you're not buying 8 different things, but you're able to get more out of out of less things. So whether you're mobile and you're limited on space, your rinseless solution and the APC can give you 10 different applications versus trying to carry 6 different products in the limited space that you have in your mobile rig, right? But that's gonna end the video right there. I'm actually closing shop right now because we are heading out and we are ready to go to tomorrow. Gotta patch that up. And again, let me know in the comment section down below, what tools, products do you want to see that we use here? Because I can actually make videos on, what we use for window tint or PPF or vinyl wrap, and which, squeegees, and which this and which that, right? So we have a plethora of content to make. So let me know what you want to see in the comment section down below. And again, if you want to check out the training that I have for you that focuses on the business side of detailing, you can also find that below. Thank you very much. We are, I think, on the 3rd video of being back on YouTube. So super pumped, super excited, super happy to be back, because this is my zone of content. Like Instagram is cool, TikTok is cool, but my zone of content has always been YouTube, because that's what I started off with and that's what I feel most at home with. So I'll see you guys on the next one.